Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jennifer, and this is the reading for January 2018 for the sign of Scorpio. And I actually didn't mention this in my other readings, but I just want to let you know that, sun, moon, rising. And my readings they're basically general. It's whatever comes up. I seek to pretty much just try to give people guidance in life itself, and especially guidance toward following like your inner callings and that spiritual path that it's a shame that most people aren't on. Most people just want to hear about their romance, what's going on romantically, or is my significant other cheating on me or stuff like that. I'm not really here to talk about stuff like that. And it's sad that that's all that people are really interested in. So hopefully you're somebody who's interested in more than just that. If so, stick with me. So I'm going to jump into the reading now. I do a 9-card spread, and then I pull a oracle card for you. Whoa, what did I do? Oh, it's there. From this book, from this oracle, it's called Through the Eyes of the Soul Oracle by Cheryl Yambach Rose, and then I'll pick another oracle card for you. This is at the bottom of your deck. We got the Page of Water. So this is your overall energy of the spread. This is like emotional innocence, perhaps messages of love, seeing the world through from a childlike wonder and opening your heart and stuff like that. I think the overall message is really just opening your heart to that innocent kind of a love. And then to start off the reading, you have I'm sorry. I usually start from the center of the reading. So this is the heart of the matter. We have transformation, which actually happens to be the Scorpio card. So this is the Death card in the Rider-Waite Tarot. And this card is obviously it's talking about transformation, change, and sometimes those things are not always within our control. Sometimes things change and transform because we're in a constant state of change throughout life anyway. So that's the center of, and that's pretty self-explanatory. There's going to be endings which will give way to new beginnings. And then the first card in your spread is the Ace of Air. So that's the Ace of Swords. And this card represents truth, clarity in the Rider-Waite Tarot. But in this tarot, it also represents like karma. And sort of, something coming in pretty fast and swift. And then we have the next card in your reading is the Emperor, which is about authority, rules, institutions, banks, government, schools, things like that. And the third card in your reading, and I'm just going to go through each card, and then I'm going to, relate the cards to each other. So then we have the third card in your reading, which is the Call, which in the regular Rider-Waite Tarot, this would be called the Judgment card. And what this card speaks to is like that inner calling. It's about being your authentic self and connecting yourself with a sense of clarity and purpose and, with your spirit. The next card in your reading is the King of Earth. And this card really speaks of manifesting abundance in your life, perhaps being a business owner or successful in business endeavors. It also means somebody who has accumulated a lot of material wealth, or it could represent someone in your life. Or this could represent an energy in yourself, even if you're a man or a woman, you don't feel particularly successful, or none of the above. It could just be an energy within yourself that's asking you or calling you to be more grounded, more responsible, and more I guess, more focused on your needs and, you know, what your material possessions. And then we have transformation, which is, like I said, is in the middle. And then we have the High Priestess as your 6th card. And this talks about the mystery. This talks about maybe coming to understand mystery a little more, following your intuition, perhaps uncovering secrets. And then we have the 4 of Air. And this would be like the 4 of Swords in the Rider-Waite Tarot. And this card talks about resting your mind and giving yourself a break in order to come away with a deeper understanding and clarity of, you know, maybe gathering your thoughts, kind of. Next we have the Messenger of Water. And this card speaks to perhaps getting emotionally involved or getting more in touch with your own feelings, perhaps finding love or just loving yourself, or strengthening your own connections, your own self-love. And finally, your last card is the Star. And this is, in this deck, it's also called, it's Inspiration. And this is about having hope, healing, and looking toward the future with hopefulness. So the first row, what we see here is Ace of Air with the Emperor, and then with Judgment. So I think, you know, what this is showing us here is there's something you either could be, see, you have actually 5 major arcana cards in your reading, which is the most that I've had so far doing these videos for January. So it's probably going to be a pretty big month for you, Scorpio. The Ace of Air is, like I said, it's about clarity and karma. And maybe there's something to do with you finding some kind of reconciliation between, you know, the structured authority of the society and the institutions and your soul. And, you know, is that something that can be reconciled? Or, you know, maybe there's information coming in regarding something that has to do with structures in your personal life. Maybe it has to do something with, you know, business endeavors that you are thinking of attending to or will have to attend to in January, or dealing with authority or some kind of structured rule type of situation. And it's asking you to, I think the advice from this card is really asking you with the Judgment at the end of this line here is try to find a way for you to let yourself, you know, hear the call of your spirit, and let your authentic self lead the way for you in whatever, you know, whatever is coming through. And it could very well just be spirit itself coming through in some way to create some kind of situation so that you have an opportunity to move through with your authentic self. And then in the next row, we've got the King of Earth, transformation, and the High Priestess. So what this looks like to me is there's going to be some changes. There's going to be some kind of like shakeups, possibly in business, possibly in your dealings with somebody who could be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Or there could be a change, a major change in the way in which you manifest your material abundance. Or, you know, some kind of information that makes you, that shakes things up. Basically, that's what's going on. There's a shakeup. And you're going to have to really rely on your intuition in order to move through these changes. And in the last row here, this is talking about giving yourself some time to really collect your thoughts, you know, especially after, you know, the Ace of Air and the Death card coming through. It's about collecting your thoughts and finding that mental clarity and giving yourself some rest and recuperation time. And in doing that, you can better connect with how you feel, how you're feeling, what your emotions are, and bring yourself to a more hopeful place moving forward. So let's also look at this in this way as well. So we have in this row, we have the Ace of Air, the King of Earth, and the Four of Pentacles. So again, there's something coming through with either with this king. There's somebody in your life who could represent the energies of a King of Earth. Like I said, it could be a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. Or it could be something to do with your business or your material, financial abundance. And something is coming in rather quickly. And it's going to give you time. You're going to have to sit and think. You're going to have to really think before you... It's going to make you really ponder and think, like, what to do next or how to deal with the situation. And then after that, we have the Emperor with the Death card and the Messenger of Water. So this could be like a breakdown of like what rules you personally want to live by in your personal life, or this could be something outwardly manifested in some way that you have to deal with, where you know, maybe something to do with school or your finances, or some kind of issue with anything that has to do with societal structures. And it could be a change in those structures, or there could be a change within you in how you want to move forward with what has been in place, what these rules are. Are these rules, are they just? Are they fair? Do you feel that I don't know, some kind of major changes taking place here in regards to this, to the rules and the authority, and maybe even what you consider an authority. You know, what rules you? Are you ruled by the head or the heart? Yeah, because this does represent authority. What's your authority? Are you ruled? Do you allow the rules of the authority outside you to tell you how to live, or do you let your heart guide how you live? And whatever this is, you know, maybe you're changing the way you, possibly the way you feel even about this authority in your life. Maybe you have a very, this card also represents Aries. And this could be that you have a controlling person in your life. Somebody who's very rigid and strict. And maybe you're just sick and tired of dealing with this person. And you want to just let it go. You want to let them go. And you want to feel free. See how like this woman here is just floating in the ocean. She's like chilling with this little seahorse. So it's like, this is like freedom and like emotional happiness and like love. And this is like control and rigid and, you know, people always telling you what to do. And maybe you just had enough of that. And then the last row, which is all major arcana, we start off with the Judgment card, High Priestess, and the Star. So this is really saying that, you know, following your calling and your soul and your authentic self is going to let you come more in touch with your own inner intuition, and also revealing, the deeper you go and the more that you follow your true authentic calling and self, the more that you will come to know and understand. So the High Priestess also represents knowledge. And finally, the Star card. So it could be that if you go ahead and you allow yourself that freedom to heed the call, you can end up in a much more inspired place where you can also heal others and inspire others as well. And I'm just looking here to see what else there might be to say. And then this tier 2 we have in the diagonal, we have the Ace of Air with the Death card and the Star card. So that whatever this is that's coming into your life, or whatever kind of like fast moving or like clear truth that is about to make itself known to you, it's going to create a deep change within you. And that deep change, while it may not be, because change is usually not easy or comfortable, but it will eventually lead you to a place of healing and inspiration and hope and contentment. All right, so I did already pull your oracle card from this, the Art Through the Eyes of the Soul oracle, and you pulled Let Peace Prevail. And just to point out, like, that similar looking type energy. Love conquers death. Slay your demons and bury the sword. Unlock the vaults of your heart. Weary of conflict, the Templar Knight kneels over the vaults of Rosslyn Chapel. In the background, there is a light visible through the window. It is illuminating the stairway to the vaults and waiting for someone to enter. On his shield is the moss-covered heartstone ensconced in the river-esque below in Roslyn Glen. The sky is the twilight glow of a Midlothian sunset, signifying the urgency that it is time to act before the night is engulfed in darkness. 2 keys of wisdom hang from his belt. The hero's journey is about cycles of death and rebirth. Denying the spiritual only leads to the illusionary life. The satisfaction of winning or gaining is transitory and usually leads to conflict. Bury the sword of external power and seek the hidden treasure within. So that definitely goes along with what I was talking about here, especially with, going in and finding that your true self, that true authentic power. And, same goes here with the high priestess, like listening to your intuition and your inner knowing. And, it's not about the external authority that matters in your life, but you need to be the authority of your own life, not what other people tell you what to be and what authority to live by. No matter how difficult it is, that's the real way to freedom. It's the only way to freedom. So, I hope that reading made sense for you. I am going to pull another card for you. And for your cards that I'm going to choose from, Wisdom of Avalon deck. So let's see. Scorpio for January 2018. Card just flew out, so we're going to take it. All right, and we got Merlin. Justice, Alchemy, Balance. So let's read what that has to say in here. That's like the Magician in the decks of the tarot deck. The Merlin is the messenger of initiation and alchemy and is both the magician and the high priest. He is the masculine keeper of magic and has the ability to turn iron ore into gold. The Merlin says, "You have all you need to move forward. Rejoice that all the elements you require for success are indeed present. You are given notice that, when it comes to your life and its purpose, the magical aspect of the Merlin can be summoned to help you find an answer that is within you. When the Merlin appears, he tells you that justice will be done in all matters of your query, but not by any forceful action. Instead, ask yourself what you need to do to bring balance into your life. Are you working too hard? Perhaps overthinking things? Do you have enough downtime? The answers you seek are not found in obvious places. It's time to go within, through meditation and prayer, and ask the spirit world of the Merlin's magical influence to send you signs and omens to help you chart your course. The Merlin says that he will lead you his wisdom and magic on this leg of your journey. He will lend you his wisdom until you can claim it as your own. His message is always, be in the world, but not of it, and wear it only as a loose cloak about your shoulders. You will never have to look outside yourself for answers when the Merlin appears. Remember, all signs and omens sent by the Merlin are but reflections of that which is within you already." So I think that goes along really well with, finding that clarity, taking the time to rest and recuperate and find clarity in your situation. And look, obviously it's a time for you to go within. It's a time for you to go within, Scorpio, and understand that the answers that you really need in your life are never going to be found through this outside authority of these rigid structures and laws. Do we want to live by man's law when man's law doesn't even respect natural law? These are things that we really need to perhaps align man's law with real justice and real truth and with natural law. And if there is to have true peace in the world, how are we going to have true peace in the world when we have, such rigid structures of belief that people seem to use against one another. Sort of, it's like the antithesis of peace, really. So, peace at this time can only prevail within. And until that peace prevails within, we're going to continue to not see peaceful resolution in the outside world. Well, I do hope that you have a insightful and enlightening January, Scorpio. And Happy New Year. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and make sure that you please subscribe to my channel as well. Thank you again, and Happy New Year. Bye.